Hello, friends and bees, and friends who are also bees, and welcome to this week's Final Fantasy XIV stream. This week we are taking on Hades. After a 2-week break, we're finally getting ready to go fight him, and after that we'll be finishing off the 5.0 story and doing the dungeons, and then moving on to 5.1. I have been queuing for Hades for about 5 minutes now, and there is nobody in the queue, but maybe some people will queue soon. I don't know. We can but hope. God only knows. There's like loads of people online, but a lot of them are like in stuff, so I don't want to like bug anyone and be like, hey, can you come hang out with me please? But at the same time I kind of do want to be like, hey, come hang out with me. I need people to help me pop this queue. I don't know. Swap over to the GP, shall we? Look at my face. Also, I've completely forgotten to mention this the last couple of streams, but this is the last day when I'm going to be running the current fundraiser for the Bell Project via Tiltify. The link will appear in chat in just a moment if you're watching this on YouTube, but you're down in the description, or you can go to Tiltify. Let me just type it in actually, and then I can make sure I've got it right. It is tiltify.com/@mochi streams/mochi-4-BLM. You can go there and you can donate some money if you want to. I'm still trying to decide whether I want to like do a different like fundraiser thing each month. I think I'm going to not for now, and then possibly yes in the future. Hand cream's truly fucked up. That's a complete aside. I just wanted you guys to know that my hand cream got messed up. So yeah, that's a thing you can do. I unfortunately really don't have anything like interesting to say at the moment. There's not even, I can't even go like unlock stuff. Because I'm still like the dungeons that I want to do in Q4, I have to wait until I've done this. What's Party Finder got? Anything? No. What a surprise. Why is Striking Tree in yellow? I don't know. I wish I'd started queuing like 15 minutes ago, but I had this intense, horrible idea of like the queue would pop before I actually started streaming. The idea of it really horrified me. So instead we're just like stuck here in limbo for ages with a really boring start to stream while I wait for queues to pop. And decide whether I want to be like, hey, does anyone want to help me do Hades normal for the first time just on this character? I have done it before. I just need to clear it on this guy. Thing is, you'd think it's reset day people will be doing their trial relets, but I guess a lot of people do the thing that they do in Alliance Raid where they deliberately put like barely any clothes on in order to get like a lower level trial relet, so they don't actually have to like help people through the harder ones. I muttered to myself, crying. Right. Let's actually look at my levels. No. Arcanist is 28. Maybe I should go, like, run levy quests or something while I wait for that to pop, just so I can get Arcanist up to 30 and unlock Scholar. Then I can start healing stuff and have better queues. I once had, like, a list written out of what level everywhere was. Where can I find these? Southern Thanglan, right. Rather than sitting around bored. Let's level alt classes while we wait for queues to pop. I'll keep, like, poking Party Finder as well, see if anyone makes a Party Finder for normal mode. Okay. I can't remember how to play anything. God, I haven't fucking touched this class. Jesus, good lord. Right. I've only got summon and summon too. Okay. What? Okay, I'm gonna move that here. Okay. This one. I want to move here, is that right? I'll move these up here. No? Yes, because this is where the AoE goes. These go here. That gets taken off the hotbar. So 1 and 2. That's better, that's what I'm after. Okay. That looks more like it. Basically, the plan here is to get my some risotto for the leveling. Get my scholar hotbar looking better. Go get the scholar up to get Arcanist up to 30 so we can do scholar. Meanwhile we It's been like 5 years since I've run. Anything. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Running away quickly. Fuck, it would be. Every time we beat something up, I get more powerful. Why did I do that? This is the one I want. I like this. Please help me, Qs are insane. That's exactly how I feel as well. I'm in physical hell and emotional hell. I don't want to be doing these levy quests. Just want to go beat up Hades. Doing here? Flower power. Initiate. Just let my dots do most of the hard lifting. Okay. Die of 1,000 needles, I guess. That's something else I can do. Seriously, why the fuck is nobody else in the world doing this quest? I might actually... Okay, well, it's 20 minutes. Who's online? Enough people are online, I will say. Handle this. While I'm here, there's one other DPS. One entire other DPS in the queue. Sorry that this is what's happening while I wait for this queue, is me doing these boring levy quests, but sorry, I got distracted by typing. Maybe with a healer we'll get somewhere. Hopefully. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. Just waiting on tanks now. I sort of don't want to queue for this levy quest now. But I've already eaten. Fuck it, we'll try it, and if it pops I'll just... piss, right, never mind. Just gonna... Oops, I clicked the wrong button. Sit here and kill things and wait for tanks. It's an effective use of time, right? Come on, deep seas, please. Please. Be tanks, be. Just want a world in which there are tanks in this queue so I don't have to run around killing random shit until it appears. Please. Please. Ah, we were doing so good when we first queued. Right, this. Me checking party finder every time I kill a mob just in case someone else has put up a party finder for it. Nice. Run away fast from the bees. Sorry that you got the horrible noise of me trying to get out of combat. I'm not in combat anymore. No. Right. Gonna do it. It's been 2 weeks. I can't remember how to play Dragoon. Let's just wipe the first 25 minutes of this stream. Pretend they never happened.
Show your vaunted strength, and I shall expose the lie of your fragmented existence.
I don't think I ever noticed his stuff before. It's extremely good. Everyone here is like, I'm baby. Mixed up. I have totally fucked up my rotation. That's okay. Everything's fine. Oh, I'm sorry, Pugsworth. Okay, there we go. Give voice to your anguish, my brethren. Oops, I dragon sighted myself. Oh well. I don't know how to play Dragoon, and at this point I'm too scared to ask. Dot meme. Second one, save me. Okay, so voice to anguish my brethren, give substance to our hopes, our dreams, our prayers, and by their undeniable grace may our perfect world arise. You and wide the ever-hungering void, devour the light and return all to darkness. Impressive resilience, but it matters little. I have until eternity to break your stubborn wills. And then he says, I am stifled by this vessel of flesh. Screenshot time. The future of the star shall be shaped by my hand, is what he says. I shall be raised up by the prayers of my fallen brethren. I love this music, as a complete aside. It is very good music. Shadow Stream is out from the middle. Dual Strike is, I think, just 2 AoEs. B on the other side of his arm. Can't remember this. I'm going to stand where the others... Nope, incorrect. Stand in the middle. Tanamaki, I believe, is just raid wide. Yep. That's, to be over here. Certain people are going to be sent to gay baby jail. We want to beat up this. I never know how to deal with this one, so... Stand in circles. Hit the wrong button inevitably. This is a knockback. Once again, I am failing to remember which ability is which. That's just a Earth Shakers. Holy One is the one you need to get into the middle. These are 2 AoEs. Ton unlucky is raid wide. Okay, it's AoE time again. Gay baby jail. We're all in gay baby jail now. God, somebody has exactly the same healing glamour as I have, and it keeps surprising me every time. Moosh, moosh those keyboards. Rip. Rich nothing. Whoops. Moosh. Whoops, I accidentally just, heal check time. Oh no, this is actually a DPS check. God, I forgot about this. Phew. Finally. Ah, alas. I cannot pug to her. So I was just chatting away in party chat there. A friend came to help me out because the queues are so bad. Now it's screenshot time. I'm gonna turn my face off so we can enjoy this in all its glory. I love this trial so much. It's such a good fight. It feels really anticlimactic because of the fact that we had to wait 2 weeks, but like, it is such a good fight and I love this cutscene too. I'm taking lots of screenshots, but...
Infernal strength!
Now! Strike with all thy might!
You can't see it because I turned my camera off, but I've got the biggest smile right now just because this is such a good cutscene. I'm not gonna feel sad for you, dude.
Remember. Remember us.
We can literally never forget.
Remember that we once lived.
I just had to get the screenshot of our shot there. It's a really good screenshot of his grumpy little face. Okay, turn my face until to fly back on now.
It's over. Emmett Salk is no more.
Good lord, it took long enough.
More importantly, how do you fare?
What dost thou see?
His ether. It is as it used to be. As a disciple of Zodiark, the Ascian was the darkness, your light. I can but assume that when you set your strength against his, the light within you was spent.
Thank fuck for that.
It's more than that. Under the strain of that incredible flood of ether, your soul had begun to break apart, yet now it seems somehow restored. I tried to help you before the battle, but Emmett Selk stopped me.
Feels.
Exactly what did you... Can you tell us what happened?
A ghost gave me his axe, and then I had to do a meet and eat. Once again, making that joke, despite it still not being funny. I'll explain it another time.
I see.
Save the cat boy. Cat boy saved. I think I found the armorers after that looked like his outfit, by the way, but I of course instantly forgot what it was, so that's great.
I owe you all an apology, and you most especially.
I'm tired. We'll leave the lecture for later.
No arguments here.
That's definitely what Ashard would say in this situation. The city is so pretty though. I guess this is what it looks like post. I don't know. Words. They're hard. Well, what have we here, etc.
So those mad souls dove straight into the ocean over there, did they?
All I could see from here was the whale, Master Chai.
'Twas surely Alphino and those friends of his. They did something heroic, mark my words. You need only look up there for proof of that.
That's us. Alphino and his friends.
As you say, my love. They're sure to be back any moment now. Any moment.
They are coming back, aren't they? I couldn't bear the thought of...
There, dear. Everything will be all right. There, look, over there, over the beach.
He's a lizard. Don't. His body temperature will be so low. I really wish I could take the helmet off now.
You all right?
I put it on for the fight cutscenes, but I really wish I could take it off now.
think we'd be swimming the whole way back.
Ah, poor Alfie.
Heavens, take me.
Alphino! Oh, hells.
Wait! Where's Orianche?
He must have fallen behind.
Just nearly knocked something off my desk there, that's great.
Shouldn't we look for him?
He'll wash up sooner or later.
I love that.
Alphino!
Sooner or later.
Welcome back, dear ones!
And thus did salvation come to the first. The lamps of Amarot will fade along with Emet-Selk's enchantments, and the depths shall be as once they were.
Oh, Tisleen.
Mount Gulg will one day fall, and the Talos below yield to wind and rain. This tale, too, will fade with time, passing into legend as the world heals and moves on. Nevertheless,
Ah, the honey Nobilios. Ah, this is it. This is... the scene that killed me soon. God bless you, Lena.
as ether obeys the cycle, as death and decay gives way to new life,
Illegal feels. Ilfeagle.
so too do the memories we share inspire others to rise to greatness. For we who walk before may lead those who walk after.
I love this monologue.
Your road goes ever on, as does your story, as does your legacy.
That monologue just makes you think, like, honestly, what a privilege to be allowed to...
Such is the hero's lot, to touch the lives of countless others.
to be allowed to participate in the myths and the legends of somewhere.
You're the warrior of darkness, aren't you? Where are you from, really? And how did you get to be so strong?
Somewhere very far away, and lots of grinding. But seriously, God, what a privilege to be allowed to participate in the legends of a place, to be able to be part of that story. Honestly. I love that artwork so much. I might, yeah. Sorry, I'm just like thinking out loud to myself abruptly. Shadowbringers is such a good expansion. I do feel like, I'm getting distracted by the credits. I do feel like this game really does, like, every expansion is better than the last one. And I mean, the thing is, so I'm liking that being, yeah, completely distracted by the being completely distracted by the credits. I love Heavensward, I love Stormblood, I really, like, despite all its issues, I think ARR is a pretty good baseline, and I'm really excited to, I'm really excited to play ARR once the, I keep wanting to say remake, that's not right, but you know, once the redoing of ARR comes out, I'm really excited to play it again and see what it's like from that perspective, because one of the things they were saying is that they were going to stop you being level gated, which I'm really excited for, because that is so frustrating to get way into the story and have to be like, whoops, guess I have to go grind a couple of levels now, guys. I think that's very frustrating for new people. Also, it's frustrating for me. So I'm really excited for in general, I'm just excited. But I love Shadowbringers. It is such a good expansion, and I have enjoyed every expansion since. Like, I'm really into it. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do the dungeons, the level 80 dungeons, and then probably while I'm waiting for those to pop, we'll start the story for 5.1, but we're going to focus on doing the 5.1 story for now, and then the 5.2 story. And then after that, I'll do, like, other stuff. I don't know when 5.3 is likely to come out. I don't think there's been, like, any sort of speculation on it. If there has, I haven't seen it. I'm gonna actually look that up super quickly now. Late July at the earliest. Okay, so having a Google says that it is likely to be late July. So I wonder if I did the story then Eden, then I could do words. Then I could do Tislim. Listen, I've forgotten how to speak. I'll plan this shit in my own brain at some point. But gosh, I just brain empty, no thoughts, only my intense love of this expansion. It is a really good one, if you ask me. I really enjoy it. Stand tall, my friends. Me singing to myself, telling me to get my posture better. Me promptly sits like a gremlin. I wish it was a joke, but I sit like that all the time. Or I do the other thing. I'm at work, my computer's, the tower that my screen is on is really high, so I tend to sit like this at work, where I sit very tall and lean way the fuck forward so I can see anything. Why don't I move the screen closer towards me? Because I really like having that area in front of the screen for putting papers on and stuff. Haha. I'm easily distracted. Enjoying these credits. Right. Let's make this scroll slightly faster. I don't want to just like skip it, because I enjoy the photos that are this like little flashback of this is what happened. Koji Fox, the ultimate meme lord. I'll never be able to hear this music without being like, quick, hands on the keyboard, you're about to go into a fight. It's like, so recently at work I've been listening to the Destiny 2 soundtrack because I find dramatic music helps me get through the workday, because it's like just me and my team in the office. It's not like I've got to be like constantly talking with anyone, so I've just been listening to music a lot. What that means is I keep getting, like, I'll be listening to it and I'll suddenly get flashbacks to a certain scene, or like it'll be the Shadowkeep theme and I'll be like, I'm loading into the game! And just the emotion that I get is just this immediate feeling of like, I'm currently loading into something. My hands are too greasy to get the lid of my lip balm off. This is hell. There he is, that motherfucker, what a tool. I'm stuck. Fizz. Please let me get the lip balm lid off. Lips, fine, leave it. Me at me, oh my god, my lips are so dry, this is hell. Me also has the least openable lip balm tin in the world. Remember back when we all called her Mini Min before she had a name? Also, hey, like, how appropriate that I finished 5.0, more or less, on our shard today, when, like, the day before yesterday was the year anniversary of Shadowbringers coming out. How crazy, right? Every, like, the summer in between patches is normally when I'm like, man, I miss playing all the way through Final Fantasy, and then I play through on an alt, but I am waiting for the ARR remake to come out, and then I will play ARR on Myron. Like, I've made her and I've got her to Aldar, and that's it. I barely done anything on her. Try it again. Oh. Finally. Whale, 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 what have we here? I will leave the lid off my lip balm for a bit, so that I don't have to worry about trying to pick it up with old greasy hands over here. By the way, the reason my hands are so greasy is because I'm drowning them in hand cream and nail oil. You probably can't see it on this camera, but my cuticles are all sorts of fucked up. So I'm trying desperately to fix that by not biting them, which I'm failing at. But if I cover them in nail oil, they taste really bad, so I'm less likely to bite them. Save the cat boy. It's time for one of my favourite musical themes. Ardbert. Ah. Every day of my life I am sad about you. Just skip the credits now. Okay. Can never tell how close we are, like, to the end, you know? Poffley. It's a good surname, that is. Please. I'm Enterprise. Just sitting here staring at the credits in absolute silence, trying to decide whether or not I want to skip. It feels like we're right near the end. Or at least it feels like we should be near the end, you know? Just... ugh. Body pains are coming back. This is bad. This isn't what I asked for. Please go away. I think I've decided what I'm going to do for my Saturday games after I finish Dishonored, by the way. I think I'm going to try and do Morrowind, so Elder Scrolls 3 through 5, so Morrowind, Hiccups, Oblivion, and Skyrim, and hopefully they don't crash my entire computer this time like they've done in the past. And, okay, here we go. We're near the end. And then after that, I think I'm gonna do I'm gonna try and play through every mainline Final Fantasy game that I can get on PC. So I'm probably not gonna do the spin-offs and stuff, just because that'll be difficult. But I am gonna try and play through all the main ones. And I will actually get the FF7 remake if I see it on sale at some point. Missed headshot. Good old Yoshipi. Owner of my soul, regular recipient of my money, source of the serotonins, but sometimes the intense sads. I've updated my search info now, BT dubs. So it says who I am, and then a fun quote. The ending to this tale hath been a joyous one indeed, myriad were the lessons learned, that there is one of particular import. 'Tis imperative with thy master magics to grant my feet purchase upon the water, or else help me to part the sea at will. Must needs visit Bismarck in due course and scrub its teeth in thanks. Mayhap the airy arts of a fairy realm might be imported to mortal men? We shall see, we shall see. People came from arms around to join the festivities, but most seem to have stumbled home by now. Even so, I dare say Northrop will echo to the sound of clinking mugs for some while yet. I thought to indulge a little revelry myself last night, until Yorion began to list all the names of my drunken conquests. I ended up drinking water. Water? Oh, Shad, are you well? No ill after effects? To my eyes, you seem completely healed. Really is a miracle. Speaking of happy surprises, I was amazed to see the crowd that greeted our return. I hadn't realised just how many people we'd met along the way. Did you see their smiles? Right then and there, I vowed to do whatever I could to keep that joy from fading. I knew the knights blessed were amongst the revellers, but the Crystarium was so crowded I thought it safe to speak my true name. Poor Runa and his ilk were gripped with panic. As you may recall, 'tis customary not to reveal one's true name outside of family and ceremony. Yet when I heard to explain that all presents were like a family, I was greeted with an outpouring of tears. An emotional people, the blessed. It would seem I don't know my own limits. I thought to push on till dawn, but my body had other plans. Still, I did enjoy the cruising while it lasted. Even I need to forget my cares every now and then. What I don't need to wake up to is to wake up to Alphino smoking at my bedside. He said my face was a rare sight while I slept. Gods, I hope I wasn't drooling. Seemed that City celebrated long into the night. Not that I would know. As embarrassing as to admit, I woke to find myself in the infirmary, having apparently collapsed from exhaustion. My aching pride was somewhat soothed by the sight of Alice lay asleep in the bed next to mine. She must have been just as weary. Long has it been since I've seen her face so peaceful in repose. It was a rare, tranquil morning, made unforgettable by the sight of those clear blue skies.
By your deeds has the blinding light been banished from these skies, and the Sin Eaters driven to retreat. Although our many hurts will be years in the mending, I have faith that this world and her people will one day be whole once more. With no rejoining in prospect, the Source need no longer fear the coming of an 8th umbral calamity.
Yet. It will inevitably happen soon.
The future from which you came will no longer come to pass. Yet here you still stand.
So I do. I wonder if that other age continues onward somehow, cut adrift from time's flow. Or have I simply etched myself...
I sort of think that the Exarch was basically moved from one time stream to another.
As the summoner of your souls, my death was meant to release you back to your world. Yet I am very much alive, and you are still stuck here in the first.
What do you want me to do about it?
I believe I speak for us all when I say that we are happy to postpone our return if it means your life is spared. We will seek out another way.
Thanks, Alfie.
Besides, I never had any intention of rushing home. There are people here I still need to thank, and this means I might actually have time to do so.
Yet we dare not neglect our comrades in the source. Mistress Tataru, to name but one, will be most anxious to know how things stand with us.
I'll go talk to her at some point.
So, you'll just have to make the journey alone for the moment. Be sure and give a full report to our fellow sires, would you? Oh, and we'd also appreciate any news you can bring us from back home.
So I had a thought.
No reason to delay. I can open the path from here.
I imagine we each have matters demanding our attention, so let this be a farewell for us all. Send word when you've resummoned our friend. Oh, and do try to ensure he arrives within the city next time.
I love Ishola so much.
Of course. I shall strive for utmost accuracy. No strange forests or unplanned passengers, I promise.
So, a fun thing, I always headcanoned, that, Ashard, couldn't go home. Because if he did, he probably would have never stayed, but...
I would have been terribly lonely if everyone had suddenly disappeared. But I understand that you have to go. Safe journey, warrior of darkness. I hope to see you again soon.
So yeah, because otherwise he would never have stayed, I decided Ashard couldn't go home, so for him this is the first time he's able to actually go back to the source.
Then you can be on your way. When I was a boy, many long years ago, I yearned to stand tall as the heroes of Eld. But like a fool seeking to pluck the stars from the heavens, my every attempt to reprise their deeds fell short. And then one day, an all but forgotten dream from my youth stood before me in the flesh. A hero who looked at the horizon and beyond and saw I knew not what.
So I'm taking 5,000 screenshots.
Was that I would give anything to stand at that hero's side. Would that it was so easy. The glory of the heavens was ever beyond the grasp of those who never thought to reach for it. But if I have gained anything from all of this, it is the courage to stretch out my hand. Do you hear me, Grahati? This is no time for sleeping.
I just love this game a lot. But yeah, that's emotional for Oshard because I had canon he was completely unable to go back to the source because otherwise he would never have returned. He would never have stayed on the first. He would have sort of said, can't someone else do it? Indeed. So this is an emotional moment for the boy, finally able to go home.
To the west gate. I want to know what's happening there.
Something I really hope for 6.0
struck down with a single blow. An unfortunate day to draw guard duty.
Is that I really hope we go to Garlemald in 6.0. And I hope it's more, goes back to the more
These were your people.
Political thriller type.
We took advantage of this slaughter to slip into the palace. 'Tis not for me to grieve them.
Me too.
That was the Emperor. Wait!
How does he open such big doors when he's so...
Euradians!
Gaius, you've missed your part in this, I'm afraid.
What's the point of wearing armor if you can just stab straight through it?
Identify yourself, demon!
You were hoping for the Ascian. The Craven shed this skin and fled, rather than face me. A pity. I wasn't looking forward to crossing blades with myself. But I cannot deny the feeling of satisfaction. Body and soul reunited at last.
What now? The game continues, but the pieces have changed.
Only if we trust in a paragon's words. A mistake I do not intend to repeat. Gaius!
He speaks the truth. Elidibus is gone. Tore a hole into the rift. Xenos, my foolish, greedy son. Was a second life not enough? Was the Empire too rich a prize to ignore?
I can't tell if that's supposed to be a crown, but it looks like it's either a tattoo or like some sort of scar that's been shoved into his head.
Our people will never be won by a spoiled princeling. The burden of this throne is beyond you.
'Tis you, father, who have struggled with this burden.
Who has?
Simply holding the Empire together has occupied your limited faculties. But you may take comfort in knowing that I have no intention of pursuing your tedious agenda. Nor am I interested in ruling over the Empire's lands. I came only to remove that which ruins my sport. I will not have my prey stolen by your petty wars and cowardly weapons.
You would kill me just for that.
I need no other reason.
So horrifying.
Any and all who interfere with my hunt will not do so twice!
Shit's fucked.
I heard the Ascians speak of Zodiac, an Eidolon. Even the will of this star is but a construct of our own making. We shall gorge upon their strength, and then, my friend, our contest shall begin anew.
We hates it, Precious. So, here's the tea, folks. I hate Xenos. I think he's an incredibly boring enemy. I think he had a very satisfying ending at the end of Stormblood, and I wish he had not been brought back. What I want as a person, what I crave as a Final Fantasy XIV player, is for 5.3 through to 5.55 being the lead-in back to the Guardian side of the story. Then in 6.0, this time it is we who infiltrate Garlemald. It is a political/spy thriller where we are following in the footsteps of Gaius and Estinian and Thancred. We're sneaking into Garlemald with the view to, in the end, assassinate Varus. I think Varus is, for me, he's the most interesting of the Guardian enemies we've had so far, because he has no, like, grand scheme other than the desire to rule over everything. And so I really wish that he had not died in such a shitty way, and then we could have taken over it. Honestly, the two things that have disappointed me most about Shadowbringer so far have been the absolute lack of the complete misuse of Ranji as a character, and the Varus Gaius storyline. Like, the ruby weapon is kind of annoying, Varus rather. I don't like that Gaius is back, especially when the role that Gaius is fulfilling could be filled by literally any other Guardian scientist, but other than that, I enjoy the ruby weapon storyline, and I really like the fights. I'm enjoying the fights and the raids so far in Eden. Yoha makes little to no sense to me because I've never played Nier Automata, but I have just decided it's rather than it being a part of the story of Shadowbringers, it's more like we're just like falling into an alternate world briefly, where stuff is happening around us and we're like, man, stuff sure is happening. But I'm enjoying Shadowbringer so far, that accepted. Right. Oh, you've returned. Was there a lull in the fighting, or... We're keeping that device you uncovered safe and sound. Did you need to use it again? Take our helmet off. There he is, the boy. Jesus Christ, I'm still mostly wearing level 70 stuff. Valid to just buy some level 80 gear. Anyway, kinda crazy to be back. In character, Ashad speaks to Tataru and then instantly goes home to Ishgard to see what's going on. Out of character, I might teleport us to and from Ishgard just to see. Oh, at some point I got over 1,000,000 gil. When did that happen? Surprise. There we go. Let me in! Let me in! Together with the Ozone and Eastern Alliances, we've been waging our war of subterfuge in the Empire. Thanker's left big shoes to fill, but I try to fill them as best I can. That's the thing, like, Riold's been doing that. We should be able to go help him. That's what I think. We've continued taking turns watching over them. As you can see, nothing of consequence has happened your way. You needn't worry for us. Arenvald has taken the lead in our efforts to contain the primals. He's adamant that we hold the fort, leaving you free to pursue greater matters, and the rest of us could not agree more. Hi, Tataru. But... Ashard, is it really you? How? When? We didn't think you'd be back for ages. Would you rather I went again? Oh, don't be daft. I just can't believe you're actually back. We heard the good news from your pixie friend, but nothing compares to seeing you in the flesh. As for the situation on this side, the Imperials are still eyeing our forces from afar. From what I've told, the Gallian army's been slow to react and seem reluctant to commit to any large-scale engagements. It's an odd sort of stalemate. Otherwise, we yet see any sign of that awful Black Rose weapon we were warned about. Oh, but I suppose we did call in an old friend to help out on that count. Kryle and I had a terrible time tracking him down. That'll be worth it to see the look on your face when you find out who it is. Anyway, I was just about to make contact with this helper of ours and then confirm the latest news from the front. Might you fancy having a rest while I do? Warrior of Light, back where he belongs, just as if nothing had happened. Though you do seem different somehow. You'll have to tell me all about your adventures when we next have a spare moment. Until then, welcome back. I like the idea that it's been ages for us and then back in the source, like, barely any time has passed. Oblivion has claimed him. Emitsulk, gone. Lahabrea, gone. Island remained the unbroken. Once more I am moved to re-evaluate the potential of these threats. Ah, Xenos, never did I dream you could overpower me so completely, possessed as I was of your body and all its uncanny strength. And now that I've shared with you the truth of this world and its reflections, who can predict how events will unfold? Not I. Emissary, what a poor jest that title has become. Flow of history has become muddied, its currents whirled beyond my capacity to direct them. You have wrested the advantage, Heidelin. The thieving hands of your disciples tighten their grip on our star. The origins of the world remain hidden, its inhabitants ignorant of their broken existence, just as you and your creators desired. They celebrate the gift of imperfect life, uncaring, unknowing as we weaken them. But do not imagine yourself rid of us. Though your champion has indeed proven the most egregious obstacle to ascendance, a barbed thorn in my side, he may yet be removed and cast into the abyss. Yes, it can be done. I will keep these heroes mired in the first, and victory will be ours at the last. Warriors of darkness now, are they? Then their fate is decided. They shall meet the same end as those who came before, death at the hands of the warriors of light. I wonder if he's going to... Well, because we know that he awoke loads of people in the first to make them warriors of light. But I also wonder if maybe he's going to import warriors from some other world to fight us. Seems you were right. Yes, there is something out there. But it would mean crossing miles and miles of this infernal emptiness, which is rather unhealthy for living creatures, as I understand it. Even if we were to restrict ourselves to brief forays, I don't like to imagine the effect it would have on our ether. But you still want to go, don't you? We may have saved the world, but we haven't reclaimed it. When you put it that way. What choice do we have? Well, of course I'm going with you. That's what family's for, isn't it? Come, let's head back and prepare for this mad journey of yours. Thank you, Thancred. My leg has completely gone to sleep because I was sitting in a bad way. I am an adult who can be trusted with their body. Dun dun dun. Though blazing skies give way to gentle night, what hand can end the war of dark and light? You completed the MSQ Shadowbringers. You can now do trust dungeons. Quest populated NPCs. Anti-job quest, raw quest line. Option. Crystarian Breathwell for 2 Worlds of Adventure. Oh wait. Right. Let's do this because she's going to send us back to the first. Ashard, Cods, it's good to see you. I hope you being here means you've had your fill of rest. Definitely. Not so much as 40 winks, truth be told. Too selfless, that's your problem. But you'll be no good to anyone if you don't take a break once in a while. Anyway, not much has happened since your last visit. I had planned for you to meet the helper I told you about, but he refuses to answer his link pearl. I do hope he's alright. Been exchanging messages with the Odin Alliance throughout, though. They say the fighting has finally stopped at the Gimlet Dark and that the Empire's shown no signs of movement. It means we might actually have a moment to ourselves for a change. Seeing as you're back, maybe you can tell me more about your time in the First? If you don't mind, I'd like to ask Philomene to join us. She'll want to know what happened to Minfilia, and I think it best she hears it from you. We'll meet you on the terrace at the House of Splendors. We'll go do this, because then when she sends, when we go back to the first, then we can pick up the dungeons there. Because we can do the main story while we queue for those, you see. I are very smart. Think ahead, sometimes. I've thought ahead at least once in my life. Away. Head upstairs. Will not suffer riffraff in her new establishment. Ah, piss off. Hi, Philomene. It's been too long. Tataru did mention that I'd be joining you, did she not? Thank you. Words cannot express how I've longed to know more of the First. This world Minfilia sacrificed so much to save. But come, rest your feet. Tataru should be arriving shortly. So, all of this stuff happened. So Minfilia chose to pass on a gift to the next oracle? This girl who Thancred named Reen? To have such a burden thrust upon her as a child, only to embrace it when given the choice. In that respect, they're quite alike. It would seem her legacy is indeed in capable hands. Ashard, might I ask a favour of you when next you return to the First? To tell Reen what I cannot. To tell her thank you. And I'd offer thanks to you as well, for staying with her to the end. Begging your pardon, but could I have a word? Hey, up. Real, I hope you're here to tell me you've received word from our helper. I wish. Nay, I've not had a peep out of him, and it's been a good long while now. Too bloody long. On account of which I'm going to sneak over the border and see if I can't get a signal to him from closer up. But what if they catch you? There must be another way. Well, it needs if we can ask Thancred to do it. Besides, I shouldn't have no trouble picking my way through Gimlet now the fighting's died down. Cods knows there's enough shadows to hide in. And it beats waiting around here twiddling my thumbs. Anyway, I just thought I'd let you know. Now, I best be... Nearly forgot. Kral's at the stones, and she wants her words. Something to do with the patients. She was getting ready to examine again when I left. We best head back then. I'm sure it's important. I love Lalafell emotes. They are so cute. Like, I know we all make Popoto jokes, but they are really cute. Go and see what Kral has to say. Ha, I am now invisible. Ah, almost. Got anything new for me, dude? Been haunted by a song. Those who the commonly sound thunder, those who would deliver us from doom. Net all land consumed sun can see bare moons. Heaven spew crimson flame, hell seek black dooms. Stray seeds quicken and ashes grey embrace. Valiant blades forged under the 12's good grace. The words of the prophetess Messiah 1,000 days, eyes as written in her divine chronicles. Crimson flames of Dalamud heralded the end of an era, and the valiant blades were the warriors of light that brought us hope in our darkest hour. 7 waning moons see 7 suns rise. Divine order royals, fallen corpses writhe. Souls from ether far, strangers from strange lands. Yes, with thine eyes, tomorrow by thine hands. We know not whom the verses spoke of, nor Orion nor the Archons nor any other soul in the realm. The warriors of light were lost to us. If not them, who could it be? And then came the rumours of one not unlike them, a man who walked in the light in the crystal. The moment I saw you, I felt it must be true. Having learned of your deeds in their entirety, I now know it to be true. You are as they were, Ashard, a warrior of light and an inspiration to us all. It's nice of you to say. Now please load the entrance back in. Sorry for the notification. Anything new to say? Says you home. Okay. I'll come back. Seeing me informed that body is as well as ever. Seems you're still examining them. Oh, I do hope it's nothing bad. This is us. It's always going to be bad.
You're here. Good.
Hey up, Kryl. Did you know that your little ears are so cute?
Still locked in slumber, but otherwise in good physical health. For the present, at least.
Don't say things like that.
For the present? Oh no, is something wrong with them?
Other than the souls being in another world.
I'm afraid there may be. I summoned you after detecting faint signs of instability in Thancred's corporeal ether. But subsequent examination suggested all 5 might be affected. And when I examined them just now, my fears were confirmed. Tellingly, the degree of instability varies between them. Thancred exhibits the most notable signs, followed by Y'shtola and Urianger. The twins' ether, meanwhile, remains relatively stable, but there is a change there too if one knows to look for it.
Hold on. Isn't that the order they were called
I
away?
don't wonder if possibly Thancred will be stuck in the first forever.
Indeed. Which leads me to believe the instability will only increase with time. Though I can but speculate, I fear this may be a symptom of a weakening link between body and soul.
By the gods! What happens if the link is broken?
I cannot say for certain. This is all unknown territory to us. Yet whatever happens, it cannot be good. Mercifully, the instability is still only slight. And you may rest assured, Master Matoya and I will do everything.
I don't think
in our power to
Urianger
keep
will
it from
be
worsening.
stuck in the first forever because he needs to come back to the source because he's
Be
involved
that
in...
as it may, it is imperative that you find a way to restore our friends' souls to their bodies.
He's involved in some unlocks. No rest for the righteous, eh?
I realize you've only just returned from saving 2 worlds, but time is not on our side.
But where's he even supposed to start? We had the greatest minds in the realm hunting high and low for an answer, and they ran out of places to look.
You stated in your report that the Exarch had originally intended to reverse the summoning process by means of his own death, correct? Raha always was a reckless young fool, ready to die for the first righteous cause that came along. His plan might well have worked, but I for one am glad he never had the opportunity to see it through. Even if it does mean our friends must remain stranded a while longer. There is another way, I am sure of it. And the key lies with him, with the Exarch. Pray return to the first and apprise him and the others of the situation. We, meanwhile, will do what we can from here. And, if the fates are kind, we will have good news to share upon your return.
This is my headcanon, that he hangs about on the source for a bit, and then eventually Kryala's like, and Tataru both basically bully him into, no, you know what, we're gonna be dramatic about it, we're gonna go the slow way around. But yeah, Tataru and Kryal basically, big bug, moth, moth, moth alert. It wasn't even that big, it just freaked me out on account of it being a bug in my space. Oh, okay, well maybe it'll fly into my computer and die. If you hear me screech, it's because the moth has flown underneath my desk and will have landed on my foot. If you hear me screech, that's what's going on. Oh god, I hate bugs. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, it happened off camera, obviously, but he hung around on the source for a while and basically intended, he was like, not going to, words. He was like, I'm staying here forever. And then Kryal and Tataru were like, no, you really have to go back to the first dude. Phone station at the tower space. What's these? Hi. I hope your time in the source was suitably restful. Well, but of course it wasn't. Go on. The corporeal ether shows signs of instability? By the gods, possibility never even occurred to me. If you've returned in the hope that my research has yielded a solution, I fear you'll be sorely disappointed. 'Tis but a mercy we have the likes of Mistress Kryl and Master Matoya to keep our friend's body safe while we wrestle with the problem. But they cannot forestall the separation of body and soul indefinitely. Come, the others must be told. Bad news, bees. Very bad news, bees. What's up, Yorianche?
Pray excuse my late arrival.
Excused.
Will Thancred and Reen not be joining us?
Nay, milady. With apologies to all, they beg leave to pursue their investigation of the empty to its conclusion. Should matters here demand their presence, however, they did assure me that they would make themselves available.
Yes, of course. Then let us proceed.
Bad news, bees.
I think it best that you begin by providing a summary of Mistress Kryl's findings.
Everything is terrible. That's my finding.
I suppose it was only to be expected that some change would occur.
Yet our souls seem unaffected, to my eye at least.
Well...
How long they will remain so is another question. Kryl is right. It is imperative we find a way to return to the source.
Perhaps an explanation of the method by which I brought you here will yield some inspiration. Ere I begin, it must be noted that I am by no means a gifted mage. In order to employ powerful magics, I must rely upon the Crystal Tower and its boundless reservoirs of energy. The magic that summoned you was no exception. 'Tis a singular spell, adapted through painstaking effort from the technique that transported me to the first.
Small moth.
To use an analogy, it works by cutting a hole in the fabric of reality. A hole tailored to the object of summoning, through which it and it alone may pass unscathed. Though I succeeded in creating said hole, I failed to latch onto my intended target. Instead of you, the spell found those close to you, and ended up summoning them in their incomplete state. I would not soon throw my life away. Not after the lengths you and yours went to save it.
Not allowed to. That shit's illegal, my good boy.
So long as I breathe, I will spare no effort to see you safely home. But should all else fail, and your lives be at stake, there remains one sure method.
Still illegal. Absolutely not.
What was that for?
Oh, Alizé. My favourite.
Entertain such thoughts. You owe your life to the Warrior of Light, and you don't get to
Alice Bay. Baylessay.
Your followers await your divine judgment.
Shut up, Stola.
If the two of you have finished, perhaps we could return to our discussion?
I love sassy
Rather than
Stoller.
dwelling upon the multiple failed attempts at transference, I think it would behoove us to focus on the solitary success. I would draw your attention to the fact that our friend can travel between worlds possessed not only of his body and soul, but his personal effects besides. This is no different from the teleportation magics to which we are all accustomed. Magics that allow for the transportation of those inanimate objects one considers to be an extension of oneself.
Are you suggesting that simply by considering us his possessions, he could carry our souls back to the source upon his person?
Well, it would be nice if things were that simple for a change. But vague notions of ownership seem a rather tenuous thing to stake our lives on. So much as a moment of doubt on his part and we'd be left floating in the rift.
Milady hath the right of it. The requisite fixity of belief would be too much to ask.
Definitely too much to ask of our shard. He ain't give a damn.
Yet, were we to immure our souls within an object in his possession, mayhap then our safe passage could be assured. White Auracite would, I believe, serve as a suitable vessel for this purpose. It was conceived to imprison the massy soul of an Ascian, and should house one of ours with relative ease. We would need only to ensure our soul's safe preservation inside the stone, and identify a means by which they might be transferred back unto our vacant bodies.
Soul preservation and transference. I believe I know of someone who may be able to assist us. On the far shore of the source, there stands a great palace built by the elves. It was forsaken in the wake of the flood, but a certain Numo chose to make their home there soon after. Though they have long lived as a recluse, they once occupied a place of honor in Ardbert's royal court, and it is said that none in all of Norvrand is more knowledgeable than they on matters of the soul.
I love that all the Fae are non-binary.
To seeking a helping hand, but if they've gone to such lengths to hide themselves away from the world, what makes you think they'd be willing to lend us one?
A worthy question. Years ago, I myself tried and failed to solicit their cooperation in the battle against the Sin Eaters. No sooner had I begun to make my plea than they unleashed a swarm of their familiars upon me. Unlike me, however, you have curried favor with the Fae folk. By that merit alone, I am hopeful that they would grant you an audience. They may still be inclined to turn you away, of course, but if their knowledge might feasibly facilitate your return home, we have to try.
You got it. Well, what we're gonna do is, direct hit, always, unlock the 3 dungeons, and then next week queue for whichever one pops first. Numo seem a welcoming folk, such a welcoming folk in Ilmeg. What do you suppose could have driven this one to such a life of seclusion? Sick and tired of the exile attempts at selfless sacrifice. If he suggests dying one more time, I swear I'm gonna grant him his wish. 'Tis said the kingdom of Ardbert was once home to the realm's greatest knights and magics both. To command a place at the royal court, the Numo whom we seek must needs have been a mage amongst mages. A mage's passing skill living life seclusion. Nowhere have I heard that before. One can only hope they're more receptive to unsolicited visitations. Grand Cosmos, that is the palace we seek, stands on the opposite shore of the source. I will arrange for a boat to carry us there. Whilst for the journey hither, I think it best that I divert mine energies to the creation of right Auracite, by thy leave, of course. The process requires no small amount of time, and should the Numo consent to lend us their aid, we will have need of a suitable vessel ere long. Agreed. Then I would ask for the rest of you to meet me in Solent, and do be prepared for a warm reception. What's going on? Join the others in Sullen. I shall tell my thoughts to the Orsai and apprise Thancred and Reen of our progress. Well, we will do that in a bit. But we're also going to unlock the other dungeons that we have got. So that next week I can start off by queuing for all 3 of them and seeing which one pops first. Do all of these, I guess. I could do that. How long are you standing there in silence? Don't you know it's rude to... Wait, aren't you that mortal bonded to Feywild? Isn't this a pleasant surprise? A proposal always mean to pity you as it happens. Interested? These sky watchers, you see, they're good at what they do, but even they can't do if it's raining or whatever back in the source, no? My help they could. I could cross the rift, see what these weather's like for myself, come back and share the knowledge with these mortals by whispering to them in their dreams. Could everyone have the answers and they wouldn't know how they got them? Wouldn't that be grand? Your approval is all I need. I love that. I love that they wouldn't even know how they got it. It makes me so happy. What's this one? Google. Nope. It's FF14. Oh. Okay, this is how you unlock the twinning, right? A word if you'd be so kind. We, the Crystarium Guard, have a request to make of you. Our researchers are planning to enter the Crystal Tower to learn more of its history. However, there's a problem. What I'm about to reveal is strictly confidential. Were word to get out, panic would spread throughout the citizenry. Our scouts have reported that ferocious beasts and bizarre machines roam the hallways. Until we can eliminate these threats, none may enter. Strange ethereal readings have also been detected, and we suspect that the phenomena are linked. The Exarch has ordered us to seek your aid in making the tower safe for our researchers to go about their work. He mentioned that you're better equipped than most to face the dangers that lurk in the tower, though he elected not to go into details. Is this true? Oh, I guess. Proof beneficial. Come, let us proceed to the entrance. Okay. What's this one? Right. In the middle of nowhere is... Oh, what's this one? Well, we'll go do this minstrel quest. In the middle of nowhere is the unlock for the Eden, so we're not going to do that just yet. The unlock for the Eden, I'm very good at speaking words and saying English, and I will not hear otherwise. Wait, aren't you... I thought so. Ashard Caprati Helene, correct? You've been keeping very busy for all the rumours that be to be believed. Why are you staring at me with such intensity? Pray, tell, have I said something to offend you? You can cross the rift. You, of all people. Judging by cryptocomics, I gather I bear a resemblance to someone you know, but I can assure you we've never met before, you and I. Don't you believe me? Then let's be friends. The more you learn about me, the more you'll come to realize how different I am from this other me. I'm a wanderer by trade, but a minstrel at heart, keeper of tales, a singer of songs, preserver of forgotten truths. Yet in defiance of my itinerant nature, I've elected to remain here for the time and compose new works. You being travelling sinner, I'm sure you've seen your share of adventures. Such stories often serve as the best sort of inspiration. Perhaps I could persuade you to regale me with one or two? Talk about titties. Titania. I'm all ears, Ashard. Venerated ruler of the Pixies and Kingdom of Rainbows. What tragedy for Titania to go forth in defence of subjects, only to be corrupted and transformed into that which they fought to defeat. Mad monarch once beloved, then feared and finally set free. 'Tis done, and you shall be the first to hear it performed. For the love of the Fae, folk the king fought light and fell, pure spirit corrupted and thrall to light spell. For treasures did lead him into the castle door, for treasures did free the king from torment evermore. Can you imagine the horror that must have gripped Titania in the moments before the transformation was complete, knowing the very people you'd sworn to protect would soon suffer and die at your hands? Familiar to us in the wake of the flood. Passing light fair now dance with the starlit skies, but before they mourned, they now rejoice. You made this possible. Sick. Am I ever going to run these extremes? Probably not. Okay. Talk about innocence. Have a tale for me, my friend? Benevolent saviour who would lord over paradise itself, only would have fit for a stagnant monument to hedonist excess. Lord there were three, but of course he would claim the title of innocence for himself in the end. Cannot speak as to whether or not he's a monster as a child, but I can sing of his monstrous deeds and what became of him as a man. From beneath blinding skies, the Lord of Light reigns supreme. From his lofty perch to floating fortress, he retreats a plot and scheme. Heaven the exile, born a man in sin, embraced her ascension, and fool, warden resplendent, in vain pursuit of perfection. No, I'm struggling with the meter on these a little bit. Summoned every ounce of his strength as a champion of light, in the end fought through is no match for the warriors of darkness. Wouldn't be the first to cloak himself the trappings of righteousness, all too common by half. Nevertheless, I hope his example serves as a reminder of what evil men may do in the name of so-called good. No doubt you'll confront other villains in the days ahead, and I should be most eager to hear your full account afterwards. Okay, talk about Hades. I've traversed countless lands and heard innumerable tales, and yet that name is unfamiliar to me. Please tell me more. Pray, tell me more. Very man who flooded the world with light, so that its extinction might bring about the rejoining he sought. An Ascian he lived 1,000,000 lives in pursuit of the single-minded goal until he fell at your hand. There's a part of me that cannot help but feel it is not my place to tell this man's story, to sing the ambitions that spurred him to wreak such wanton destruction, and those that compelled you to see that his dream would die in vain. If you permit me a moment's indulgence and a measure of poetic license, I'd grace your ears with a tune. I call it Requiem for a Hero. His homeland lost to memory, through eons did he strive, dark masks he wore, fell plots he hatched, to keep vain hope alive. Until the end, that fateful day when shadow clashed with light, true name revealed his dying wish, remember us as we fade into night. I think Ashad especially can find Emmett a much more empathetic character. Most challenging subject to put into words, and yet I can take some solace in knowing the entirety of the tale in all its tragic and terrible glory will live on within you. I find it quite fascinating how the Sulk chose to reveal his true name on the verge of battle that would have proved to be his downfall, reminded of the Knights Blessed of a similar tradition, in which they concealed their true names outside of rare occasions, such as funerals. What significance might the act of announcing his true name have carried for him? Matter to ponder, perhaps, did you wish to fully grasp the nature of your foe, of the shadow to your light. I don't know, he is, as a character, I think Ashad finds Solus much more empathetic. It's just that he also, Solus or Emmett, whatever you want to say, for Ashad, there's sort of the fundamental issue, which is that, you know, Solid's method involves, just gonna get these out of my, these out of my inbox. My inbox, my journal, Jesus. It's what he wants to do is, you know, to it involves the destruction of everything we hold dear. Ticket preparations are complete. You're to lead an elite party of elite troops into the tower and respond to any hostility with lethal force. Once the way is clear, the researchers can begin their expedition. Our main objective is to identify the source of the ethereal disturbance. Tower cannot be considered safe until we do. Should you encounter any opposition beyond your capabilities, you are to withdraw immediately. I wish you the best of luck. Sick. Yeah, Emmett is definitely a tragic figure, and I feel that more upon my second playthrough. It's just that I find it hard to give him sympathies, given that he's like, you know, I'm yearning for a home long lost, and to get it back I'm going to commit mass genocide. That's not right, if you ask me. Like, I can't justify that. And certainly Ashad is like, I could, you know, I've done terrible things for my home, I would do terrible things for my home. For Ashad, that's why he finds Ardbert to be such an empathetic character, because of that similar, you know, abiding love for a place that hates him. I figure Ashad is still, you know, Ishgard is only recently recovering from the Dragon Song War, all things considered. Like, I can totally imagine there'd be people who would be like, okay, so he is the warrior of light and he did save us, but like, can he really be trusted? You know, and there's probably people who don't like him. And, you know, he's got to wrangle with that, but at the same time, regardless of how Ishgard feels about him, Ashad is always going to have this sort of deep, innate devotion towards it that, he will never be able to get rid of. And so he can sort of relate to Solus on that front, but it's the fact, or Emmett, it's the fact that Emmett wants to destroy the source, including, you know, Ishgard, including all of Ashad's friends, all that he holds dear, the home that he sort of cleaves so strongly to. And Emmett's like, my plan is to fuck it up. And he's like, I can't let you do that. If you had other options, possibly I would help you, but I can't let you do this. He would, as the poets say, do anything for love. He said the palace into the shop. I see nothing on the horizon save empty sky. Curious. Axel said to prepare for a warm reception at the palace. His hope is more cordial than his last visit. Relieved to hear the Exarch intended to arrange for a boat to carry us across the lake. Not that I'd be opposed to swimming, mind you. As I told you before, I scarcely set foot on the palace grounds when I was set upon by a host familiars, and I expect a reception today to be no different, which is why I propose we march through the main gate, weapons drawn. Sorry, but are we not here to petition for assistance? Can't honestly think barging in looking for a fight is going to persuade them. Actually, I believe the Exarch may have the right of it. They have no doubt poured a great deal of time and energy into their creations. Were I them, I should be most interested to meet with those who could overcome my defences. As would any true seeker of knowledge, there's little we can say or do to convince them to help us if we know nothing of the character, nor less why they chose to hide themselves from the world. But if we can seize their interest, mayhap we can earn ourselves an audience. You got it. Everyone does the emote. Weapons drawn it is, then. Must say, Exarch, you certainly seem to be enjoying all of this. Do I? I will not deny I enjoyed the fighting alongside you all, rather than pacing about the inside of the Crystal Tower. You both seem to be in rather high spirits, if you ask me. Not that I'm surprised. Your moods invariably improve when Ashad is around. What exactly are you implying? He averted a calamity, and the light which seemed destined to consume him has been extinguished. It's certainly natural we'd be pleased to see him. Yes, well, you have plenty of time to celebrate his good health after we've finished here. Of course. Then let us proceed to the palace. I love Sashi Stola so much. I have it, like, strong headcanon that Ishtola's, like, she's one of the major driving forces that, like, gets Ashad to do anything. Because he'll be like, oh, I don't wanna, and she will basically just sass him into doing stuff. I really do love Sassy Stola so much. Right. Where's the unlock for? Dungeons. Shadowbringer dungeons. Oops, I accidentally clicked into an email that I didn't intend to read just yet. What's the unlock for Academia and Ida then? Trying to find out, that's why I'm looking at my second screen. Ah, it's in Yulmore. Whoops. That's fine. We'll do this final unlock, and then next week we'll start by queuing for all 3 dungeons, and we'll see what pops first. In the meantime, I am also going to get our Ardbert gear as much as possible. It's the southeastern derelicts that I'm looking for. I need to get more jewelry before I can do the Grand Cosmos. So probably just buy myself some 430 gear. Let's get this one first. The Hand Dweller, you one of the ancient messengers, yes? How fortunate I have found you. We need your help. Ever since the abyss was lit with the city's lanterns, a great beast the likes of which we've never seen has begun hunting near the cubs. Thrashes and gnashes with its cavernous maw, leaving nothing but tattered flesh in its wake. The elders of the Athvirid as an omen, a harbinger of our people's destruction. Have we angered the ancients? We cannot know. We dare not enter their sacred abode without first receiving their blessings. This is why I came to this town of land dwellers, to seek those who'd helped us before, and here you are. Please enter the ancient city once more. Speak with them and learn what we have done to their ire. Teleport to the Macarena angle. Open up the correct tab, me, please. Okay. How may I help you? This beast was like no other, you say? Judging by the description, it may well be one of the new types of fauna being created by the researchers of the Academia and Ida. Such this matter is out of my purview. I suggest you take your claims to a bureau of the architect, or better yet, speak with an Academia scholar directly. Find the Academia and Ida in its public offices to the south of this building. If this mystery beast is one of their experiments, they will surely have more information to offer you. Okay. Here we go. Welcome to the public offices of the Academia and Ida. The hallowed halls of the Academia itself restricted to accredited scholars. My apologies. If I'm not mistaken, your residency is arranged directly by Emitself himself. As such, you've been granted special dispensation to enter our prestigious institution. Might I ask what's prompted your visit with us today? Don't worry about it. See, yes, that particular creation is under our supervision. If you'd like to confirm the beast's containment yourself, then might I suggest a tour of the grounds? Our head researcher is in residence, and may be available to answer questions about the experiment you described. Your zeal for knowledge is impressive when one so young. I do implore you, however, to be careful inside the academia. Mind what you touch, and try not to distract the other researchers from their work. Finally, I must insist you report to me on your return. Wouldn't do to lose track of our little visitor. This way, if you please. And with that, our last dungeon for next week is open. And I am going to end stream off here. I am going to say thank you very much for watching. It is very much appreciated, and I do hope that you enjoyed. I will be streaming, if found, tomorrow for my last Indie Pride 2020 of this Pride month. It will actually be on the 1st of July, but that's okay. If found is a new game. It came out last month. I am very excited to play it, and that'll be good. Then on Thursday, we'll be streaming Higurashi When They Cry, Mayakashi, where we're going to continue running around as Shion and probably causing issues. Saturday, we'll be playing Dishonored Death of the Outsider, where we're going to steal a second key and I guess maybe plan a bank heist, possibly. And Sunday will be Destiny 2, where we shall be continuing with the many activities that we have. I think it's mostly going to be grinding, but we'll see. I might also add a thought actually, which is Lord Saladin's back and Iron Banner, so I think I'm gonna actually, we're gonna live in Crucible or in Destiny, and I'll learn to not be shit at Crucible, hopefully. Then next Tuesday will be more Final Fantasy XIV, where we are going to do some dungeons and keep going forth with 5.1. I know how to speak words. Also, this is the last day of the month that I am raising money for the build project via Tiltify. The link has just appeared in chat. If you're watching this on YouTube, it will be down in the description, or you can go to tiltify.com/@mochi streams/mochi-4-BLM. It's for a good cause, and if you have any spare money, I'm sure it will be very much appreciated. So, take care everybody, have a wonderful evening, do look after yourselves, be excellent to each other, and I shall see you guys tomorrow.